In today's video, we will talk about certain aspects of a rotational motion. In particular, we will concentrate on angular quantities that describe rotational motions. These include angular displacement, angular velocity, angular acceleration, and we will also explore connections between them. And we will solve a problem based on these concepts. Let's first talk about angular position of a point or an object that is involved in rotation. Now let's say you have an object here. How do we describe its angular position? Now angular position is described using angles. So in this case, the angle concerned is this angle here, theta. So if you have another object, let's say here, the angular position of that object is given by an angle described in following way. Let's call it alpha, and so on. Now note that this is the 0 degree line, this is 90 degrees line, this is 180, this is 270 right there, and then we are back to 360. When describing angles associated with rotational motions, it is more convenient to measure angles in terms of radians than degrees. Now the conversion between these two is as follows. 180 degrees equals pi radians. So RAD is just a abbreviation for radians. That means if you have an angle, let's say 25 degrees, in radians it is pi times 25 over 180, and that is 0.436 radians. Next, let's look at angular displacement. Let's say you have an object moving on an xy plane. So positive x-axis is the 0 degrees or 360 degrees, and the positive y-axis is the 90 degrees as we discussed before. Let's say the object moves from point 1 to point 2 over there. So in a counterclockwise motion like that. Now the angular position of point 1, or the angular position of this object while it is at point 1 is, let's say, alpha. The angular position of this object at point 2 is, let's say, beta. So what is the angular displacement of this object as it moves from point 1 to point 2? Angular displacement, in this case, is the angular position of the final point minus the angular position of the initial point. So in this case, it is beta minus alpha, also in the unit of radians. As simple as that. Next, let's talk about angular velocity. Now, if you have an object that is moving on an xy plane as shown in this diagram, in the following direction, like that. So if you view the motion from the z-axis, the object is moving like that, where this is the xy plane. So how do we define the angular velocity? Now, angular velocity is a vector, meaning it has directions and magnitude. The unit is given by radian per second. The direction of angular velocity for an object such as this one is given by right-hand rule, as shown in the figure. If you curl your right-hand fingers in the same direction as the direction of motion of that object, then the direction of your thumb defines the direction of that angular velocity. Namely, in this case, it will point along the positive z-axis. Likewise, if the object is moving in that direction, and if you curl your fingers in the same direction like that, then the direction of your thumb now is pointing downwards, opposite to that of positive z-axis, and now that represents the direction of the angular velocity. So that is the right-hand rule. How do we quantify angular velocity? This brings us first to average angular speed. Now, average angular speed is written in the following manner. It is equivalent to the angular displacement over the time it takes to cover that angular displacement. Now that means if you have, let's say, an object going from point 1 to point 2, and in doing so, it has an angular displacement of delta theta in radians, and it does so in a period of delta t seconds, then its average angular speed from point 1 to point 2 is given by this equation. Likewise, if we are interested in the value of angular speed at a particular time, let's say as the object moves from point 1 to point 2, let's say what happens here at some time t, then we have to compute the so-called instantaneous angular speed, which is given by the time derivative of the angular position. So this is the average angular speed, this is the instantaneous angular speed, namely angular speed at a particular time t. Next, angular acceleration. Now the unit, the SI unit, is radian per second squared. It is a vector, and we use alpha to denote angular acceleration. So let's say you have an object that is moving like that from point 1 to point 2. We know from our previous discussion that the angular velocity of this object is coming out of the screen. So let's denote that with a dot. So if the plane of motion is x, y, then the direction of the angular velocity is along the positive z-axis. So a dot like that is the convention that we use to denote direction out of this screen or out of the plane towards you. So what can you say about the direction of angular acceleration? Now that depends if the object is speeding or slowing down. Let's look at the case where the angular speed is increasing. So if the angular speed at point 1 is less than the angular speed at point 2, meaning the rotation is speeding up, then the angular acceleration will point in the same direction as the direction of angular velocity, namely along the positive z-axis or out of the screen. So when the object is speeding up, then these two vectors are parallel to each other, the angular velocity vector and angular acceleration vector. Now let's say the object is slowing down now, namely the angular speed at point 1 is greater than the angular speed at point 2. So now the object is slowing down, its rotation is slowing down. Then the direction of this angular acceleration will go into the plane, as shown by this cross. So angular velocity is along the positive z-axis. Angular acceleration in this case will be heading along the negative z-axis. In other words, the direction of angular acceleration is anti-parallel to that of angular velocity. How to quantify the angular acceleration? The average angular acceleration of an object that is moving like that, let's say point 1, its angular velocity is omega 1, at point 2 its angular velocity is omega 2, then the average angular acceleration for this motion between point 1 and point 2 is given by omega 2 minus omega 1 over the time interval for the object to go from point 1 to point 2, or we can simply write delta, or the change in angular velocity over the time interval for that change to take place. If we want to calculate the angular acceleration at a particular time t, this is known as the instantaneous angular acceleration, and it is given by the time derivative of angular velocity, like that. And as you can see from both these equations, the unit for angular acceleration is given by radian per second over second, which is radian per second squared. Now let's look at the following problem. A counterclockwise spinning wheel's angular position is given by this expression, so it's a function of time, and it's measured in the unit of radians. Now first, let's calculate the angular displacement of a particle on the rim of the wheel during t equals to 2 and t equals to 5 seconds. So this is that wheel, and let's say you have a particle here, and then it moves counterclockwise all the way at some later time. So this is t equals to 2 seconds, it's there, and at t equals to 5 seconds, it's there. So we want to determine the angular displacement for this motion, meaning that delta theta. So the angular displacement, in this case it's given by theta at t equals to 5 minus theta at t equals to 2. So at t equals to 5 seconds, theta is 2 times 5 cubed minus theta at t equals to 2 times 2 cubed, and that's going to give you 234 radians. Now, having found that, find the average angular velocity of the wheel between these times. So average angular velocity, it's given by that 234, because that is the angular displacement. Over the time interval is 5 minus 2. And the direction of this angular velocity is, of course, coming out of the board. So we are going to represent that with a dot. And the calculation gives you 78 radian per second in the direction of out of the plane. So if the plane is xy, the plane of the screen that is, the direction of this average angular velocity is along the positive z-axis. Now instantaneous angular velocity at t equals to 3 seconds. Now instantaneous angular velocity is given by the time rate of change of the angular position, and of course, since the wheel is turning counterclockwise, the direction of this angular velocity is out of the plane. The derivative of theta with respect to t is 6t squared, and that is evaluated at t equals to 3. That's going to give you 6 times 9, which is 54 radian per second in the direction out of the plane. Next, let's calculate the average acceleration of the wheel from t equals to 2 to t equals to 5 seconds. So the average acceleration, average angular acceleration, that is, it's given by the angular speed at t equals to 5 minus the angular speed at t equals to 2, divided by that time interval 3 seconds. The angular speed at any time is given by this expression that we obtained by taking the derivative of theta with respect to time. So it will give you 150 for omega 5 minus 24 for omega 2 over 3, which is 42 radian per second squared. Now the direction is, of course, it follows the direction of omega. So namely, the direction is out of the plane. By the way, how do we know it's out of the plane? Because the value of omega at 5 seconds is greater than the value of omega at 2 seconds, showing that the wheel is actually speeding up. So the direction of omega and alpha are parallel to each other. Next, the wheel's angular acceleration at t equals to 3 seconds. So that is given by the time derivative of angular velocity. Now we know the angular velocity is 6t squared, so the time derivative of that is 12t. And in the direction of out of the plane, at t equals to 3 seconds, that is just 36 radian per second squared in the direction of out of the plane. And that solves the problem. Thanks for watching.